the latest fund manager survey that was published just last week on China is still excessively underweighting the China market, the China capital market. And a lot of investors that we speak with, and right after our session, Professor, we have a couple of fund managers, international fund managers, who will share their insights on how they view the investing in China. A lot of sentiment is still worried about the fact that the policy initiatives to lift up sort of sentiment in the market is a stop and go situation. So now they have now taken a rather wait and watch position, which they've done so intermittently over the last 12, 18 months, right? Waiting for, is there something going to happen, and so on. Now they've gone back to wait and watch position. Now, do you agree that they should wait and watch until perhaps when they hear more insights early July on what steps the policymakers are thinking or planning to do?
Well, for investors outside China, I agree that wait and see is a good strategy, because they are outside China. They do not see things as closely, as clearly as people inside China do. However, for domestic investors, I do encourage them to move a little bit ahead of the market sentiment change. So I have twofold pieces of advice. For domestic investors, be proactive. For international investors, be a little bit patient, because you are positioned differently.
And for foreign investors, what they watch also carefully is the financial sector reform, which you and I know is a key pillar of China's opening up policy. Now, we've seen regulators roll out a number of measures intended to strengthen the foundation of the capital markets. In fact, China's capital markets today is the largest in Asia. Yet, foreign investors' participation remains quite minimal, such as, for example, as you mentioned earlier, in the fixed income market, in the bond market, is well below what is possible for a market as large as China. What other measures do you consider absolutely necessary in order to attract greater participation from foreign investors?
The most important measure is to increase the size massively of the sovereign debt, or Chinese Ministry of Finance bond. This is the most efficient, should be least risky, and the most liquid financial instruments. However, currently it's not big enough. So the central government has to do this. This is the single most important and concrete and tangible and verifiable policy. Okay, other policies you can talk about, but this to me is the single most important measure that's to watch.